He says that capitalist urbanization, even as it's fueled by the relentless, voracious search for profits, involves the social appropriation of the urban. He says the other perspective from which to view the recent history of urbanization is in terms of popular, if not populist, seizure of the possibilities that capitalist technologies have created. So the claim he's making is that capitalism, despite all of the exclusion and oppression and destruction that, from his point of view, it engenders, it also opens up possibilities. The problem for David Harvey, or at least one of the problems, is that the possibilities for human well-being and human social and cultural experimentation that capitalism opens up are privately appropriated by the few. They're privately appropriated, even if they're socially generated through the work that everybody does. And Harvey's claim is that this alternative form of urbanization, it's not something just in the future, it's already with us, it's already embedded within capitalism, an alternative, which is the struggle to socially appropriate that which is socially produced, instead of to privately appropriate that which is socially produced. I'm just gonna repeat that because that's pretty fundamental. I'm just gonna repeat it, okay? So he's saying that capitalism, with all the technological innovation and capacity that it unleashes, it generates immense possibilities for social life and for human well-being. The problem, one problem, it's not the only one, but one problem with which Harvey is concerned is that those social possibilities are privately appropriated and effectively hoarded by the few, including the ability to control the investment process that reproduces all of our lives, that's controlled by private capital. But what he's saying is that it's not just like, oh, there should be some future moment where people have more collective control or collective access to all these materials. He thinks that other form of urbanization is dialectically embedded within capitalism. It's not just like, oh, we're dreaming of communism. We might or might not be. He's saying there's already a socialization of production and of space because of the interdependencies between people within the modern division of labor that is engendered by capitalism. And the chapters, the passages on revulsion and revolt in the Money, Time, Space, and the City article, and the chapters on reform in the Cities or Urbanization article are precisely reflections about the ways in which struggles emerge within capitalism from a whole range of political and cultural points of view to try to appropriate the surplus that's produced by capital socially rather than privately. It could, and socially could mean a lot of different things. It could mean through the community, it could mean through the state, it could mean a lot of different things, and that's part of what he's writing about. But it's about the social appropriation of the surplus rather than the private appropriation of the surplus, and it's also about socially seizing the capacity to invest and produce new forms of urbanization rather than having all of that controlled mostly by the owners of the means of production. So it's already with us. That's the message. It's not just, oh, I'm dreaming of some utopia. Harvey's claim is that that's already the social character of capitalism already engenders the possibility of its alternative. And that struggle between the private appropriation of the surplus and private profit-driven capital accumulation and various interdependencies that genuinely create a social and ecological world that we all share, that is the core contradiction of modern capitalism.